And world leaders, including US, have been calling for calm in West Asia. Among them is President Joe Biden, who said that Israel informed US about the strikes on Iran in advance. He also hoped that tensions wouldn't escalate further.
It's like I had a long reason we're a little late. I was on with the intelligence community for the last half hour. And it looks like they didn't hit anything other than military targets. My hope is this is the end.
And calling for de-escalation in West Asia, US Vice President Kamala Harris has said that the country was working towards ending the conflict in the region.
We maintain the importance of supporting Israel's right to defend itself, and we are also very adamant that we must see de-escalation in the region going forward, and that will be our focus.
And the escalation adds to the already volatile situation in West Asia. DD India's Mihir Mekhuri has more.
The early hours of Saturday saw waves of Israeli fighter jets streaking through the skies above Iran. The military strikes aimed at missile factories and other strategic sites come amid heightened regional tensions. Israeli military reported completing 3 waves of strikes before dawn, warning Iran not to retaliate.
We conducted targeted and precise strikes on military targets in Iran, thwarting immediate threats to the state of Israel. The Israel Defense Forces has fulfilled its mission. If the regime in Iran were to make the mistake of beginning a new round of escalation, we will be obligated to respond.
In Iran, the immediate aftermath of the attack left 2 soldiers dead. The country claimed its air defenses successfully countered Israeli strikes on military targets in the provinces of Tehran, Khuzestan and Elam, causing limited damage to some locations. The latest escalation stems from a year-long Israel-Hamas conflict that has sharply heightened regional hostilities. More recently, on October 1st, Iran launched 200 ballistic missiles at Israel, resulting in 1 casualty in the West Bank. Adding to the complexity, the ongoing conflict in Lebanon between Israel and Hezbollah has raised temperatures further. Israel has intensified its campaign against Hezbollah by targeting the outfit's infrastructure. Now all eyes are fixed on how Iran responds to Israel in the coming days. Mihir Mekhuri's report for DD India.
Meanwhile, India has expressed deep concern over evolving escalation in West Asia and has called for exercising restraint. In a statement, India's Ministry of External Affairs said, and I quote, "We are deeply concerned by the evolving escalation in West Asia and its ramifications for peace and stability in the region and beyond. We reiterate our call to all concerned to exercise restraint and return to the path of dialogue and diplomacy. The ongoing hostilities are to nobody's benefit, even as innocent hostages and civilian populations continue to suffer. Our mission in the region are in contact with the Indian community." All right, let's go across to DD India's Amit Mukherjee. He has more information on this. Amit, first of all, tensions remain high in West Asia. First of all, tell us about the extent of the damage, aftermath and scale of destruction.
Absolutely, Abhishek, you're right. Tensions are still high, but as of now, there seems to be some kind of a pause as far as Israel's operation in Iran is concerned. And Iran has also not retaliated as far as the Israeli airstrikes are concerned. Of course, they have admitted to have lost 4 soldiers, and the damage they have also said has been sort of quite restricted. You know, the damage has not been quite widespread. Having said that, I must also tell you that, at this point in time, Iran has got really 2 choices. One is not to respond to the Israeli strikes of Saturday and Friday and remain calm and not escalate the situation further. But at the same time, since it's a war of perception also, apart from what is being fought on the battlegrounds, the perception would be, if a lot of people might translate into that Iran is falling weak. But again, it's up to the Iranian administration to weigh the situation as of now, because I mean, at this point in time, Iran, which already had said that it's not interested in war at this point in time, and it would also not retaliate in a big way if the attacks are only symbolic, might go in for a stance which is in the larger interest of Iran and its people. So as of now, there is a pause as far as Iran and Israel is concerned, the confrontation between them. But Israel continues to mount its attack against Hezbollah. And, in northern Gaza, it's also bombarded about 6 buildings, apparently in its operation against the Hamas operatives. And in certain pockets of Beirut, the southern suburbs of Beirut, it continues its operation against Hezbollah, primarily targeting not only their operatives and their assets, but also they are looking at disrupting their, dismantling the financial backbone which has been funding Hezbollah operations for a long time. Specifically, the Al-Qurt and Al-Hassan network, the financial institution which has about 30 branches in Lebanon, in Beirut, in the Beirut city of Lebanon. That is what Israel has also been targeting of late.
Okay, but Amit, talking about the reactions, world has reacted to Israel strikes on Iran, urging Iran to restrain, but Iran, they vow retaliation. Iran reaffirmed its right and duty to defend itself, quote unquote.
Well, interestingly, Abhishek, at this point in time, everybody is citing UN charters to look at their rights to kind of respond in case of any attacks on them. But if you look at the situation, it was the Israel attack came as a retaliation to what had happened on 1st of October. It was basically the 200 barrage of 200 missiles that were fired into Israeli territory, and Israel at every point in time made it very, very clear. The attack came almost 3 weeks after the incident had happened on October 1st, and Israel was categorically maintaining that the attack is only in retaliation to what had happened on 1st October. And even if you look at the choice of assets which was destroyed by Israel yesterday, they were basically missile facilities, the drone facilities, and also the launch pads, which were actually utilized for the operation of on 1st of October. So basically, the target and precise attack of Israel was at all those assets which were actually instrumental in kind of launching the 1st October attack against Iran, against Israel. So that remains. And, after Israel was very quick to respond after carrying out this series of 3 strikes, it said that it is now over, and then warned the Iranian administration that in case of a further retaliation, things would not be, look good as far as West Asia is concerned. Abhishek?
But again, Amit, if Iran carries out retaliatory strikes, Israel will be obligated to respond. Daniel Hagri said this. But the question is again, where does it stop? Where does the conflict stop? You think US will have a key role here?
Well, US has always had a key role. Now it's up to Iran to make a choice on this, because Iran has always been a passive, sort of a player in this whole game. It was actually the whole thing started following the assault by Hamas on the Israeli territory, when on 7th of October, Hamas squads had actually entered Israeli territories, conducted mass killings, and abducted its citizens and took them away to Gaza. In fact, those, according to reports, more than 1,000 hostages are still in captivity of Hamas in several pockets of Gaza right now. So, it is now up to Iran whether it wants to respond right now, because in any case, Israel is continuing with its assaults, saying that it's punishing the perpetrators of the October 7th event, which also includes Hezbollah, because Hezbollah was giving us support. It was firing on the northern territory of Israel ever since the Hamas and Israel conflict had broken out. Abhishek?
Don't know if Iran's going to sit back. All right, Amit, we'll leave it there for time being. But yes, we'll keep taking updates from you.